For all of 2025 and going into 2026, I was optimizing my TikTok shop for the buyer, not for the platform. Let me explain why. Because I come from a creator background where every time I used to buy a product as a consumer on TikTok shop, talk about a product with other affiliates, discuss how to make money from a product, and discuss what was winning, what would win next. All of us were talking not about the platform, we were talking about the buyer. A lot of brands who I talk with or other agencies, they're always thinking about the platform. What does the platform want? What's going on with GMV Max? They're asking the wrong question. They ask, how do we crack TikTok? How do we win on TikTok Shop? How do we get more creators? That thinking is why growth, arguably, can stall. And it's because platforms don't buy products. People do. And people don't buy based on algorithms or where you put your creatives or what you're doing with GMV Max today, although obviously that is a totally essential part of TikTok Shop. In this video, I'm going to show you how to optimize TikTok Shop around customer behavior, not channels. And this mindset is what separates brands that spike from brands that compound, because my brand was stuck at 20K a month for 3 months in a row. When I made the change in my mindset to, first of all, how I marketed the brand, that's for another video, but second of all, what the buyer wants, everything changed. Channel first optimization is the same discount everywhere, the same creator brief, the same call to action for cold and for warm traffic on your TikTok shop videos, and you need the same urgency and messaging from day one. And yes, it can work short term when you do it that way, but it creates three problems, three setbacks, which we experienced from day one. First of all, you're training customers to wait for discounts. You attract price-sensitive buyers with low purchasing intent. You don't want price-sensitive customers looking at your page on TikTok Shop, even if your product isn't worth very much, because you're going to burn creators without building a system. Creators aren't going to be excited to, well, sell a product to people who you don't want to spend much, brokies, whatever you want to call them. The brands that win, they don't ask, how do we hack TikTok Shop? What's going on with GMV Max? What's going on with the CRM analytics? They are thinking, how do we think about our customer? And every TikTok Shop purchase happens inside a three-stage mindset: discovery, consideration, and conversion. TikTok Shop is a demand-driving platform. You've heard this mantra a million times by now. This is not Amazon. If you're a creator watching this, you've probably come across products on your shop or as an affiliate, that you would never have even dreamed of promoting, let alone buying. And people are coming to the product looking at it for the first time, more than likely. Is this solution actually better than other alternatives? That is what people are thinking when they look at your products. What's stopping me from buying right now? There needs to be an urgent reason. Most brands fail because they try to force conversion content onto customers who are still in discovery mode. Now, we can talk about funnels all day. Excuse me one sec. We could talk about top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. But if you're using urgency in top of funnel content, that may be where the brand is failing, because the whole point of top of funnel content is to build trust and to introduce the customer to the product, to tell a story, to tie a positive reputation to your brand, to get loads of people to see it, and you can have top of funnel creators promoting the product. But a lot of that messaging can be ruined by a top of funnel affiliate by creating huge amounts of urgency at the very end, because it feels like a bait and switch. People aren't stupid by now. The thing is, because people have got so much better at selling on TikTok and marketing, buyers they've also got pretty good at spotting when someone is trying to make a sale. So if you tell these long length stories and you're going on and on and on, and it's really top of funnel, and then you just completely give a hard sell, your conversion rate might tank. It would be more ingenuous for your brand to have a soft call to action. If you haven't, like, say, if you have any questions, comment them below. If you have a top of funnel creator on retainer, you could say, look, don't tell them to click on the yellow basket. Just link the product and don't even include a CTA. Then you can soak up conversions with middle of funnel and bottom of funnel content. Middle of funnel content would be through comment replies and talking about features of the product, so going into a bit more depth because maybe people have questions. You can go through more demonstrations, and then the comment reply on that would, from that middle of funnel video, would be bottom of funnel videos which other creators can lap up. Affiliate only creators pumping out 50 or 100 videos a day, whatever bottom of funnel creators prefer to do, right? Don't sacrifice and mess up your funnel just for the sake of thinking, oh yeah, I'm just going to make top of funnel content and then drive with urgency. You really need 50 good creatives on your TikTok shop to test. That's when you can use GMV Max. And those creatives, they will probably have to be top of funnel and middle of funnel creatives anyway to get traction for the brand, so that you have enough data for TikTok to know who to push your middle of funnel and bottom of funnel videos to. That was the mindset shift that I took, because I was thinking, man, I'm getting millions of views on let me see if I can. One of my past videos did like 5 million views and low conversions. It was, let's see if I can pull up the exact one actually. It was a skit, and I was thinking, man, this has done like 5 million views, and I'm not impressed with the conversion rate. And GMV Max wasn't spending, but it wasn't because there was nothing to spend on. It was because the top of funnel story was so good. Oh, actually, it did. So this one did 1.8 million views. The top of funnel story was so good that people were too distracted by the story to even click on the product and drive urgency. What I should have done was forget the CTA on the story and just bait comments and get more questions on the video, and then follow up with a middle of funnel and then a bottom of funnel video. That would have scaled this product much quicker. But no, of course, I was thinking, well, if I just get 2 million views and loads of people see it, the revenue will be amazing. It's not TikTok, like I say, is a discovery platform. You need to build trust and get eyeballs and impressions on your product first. Then when you have a few creatives being pumped out for your brand, by all means, switch to those middle of funnel videos. So anyway, clickbait creative and too good to be true pricing. It's a hassle. You've taught them to buy on price, not value. So this is why I'm skeptical when some agencies say that TikTok Shop is a price-sensitive platform. Well, if it was so price-sensitive, how come there are brands, scaling this week that are doing $1 million in sales a month, and they're selling their electric bikes for like $600? Explain that one to me. I tell you what, they were creating stories with their bike, and then they were switching to middle of funnel and bottom of funnel content. There's tablets that are being sold again for $40. Every year, the price of items on here goes up slightly. Ninja crushed it this year, selling air ovens for like $500. That was unheard of last year, and people were saying that TikTok Shop is a price-sensitive platform. Is it? Doesn't look price-sensitive to me. There are like designer bags being sold on here now. Now, once that behavior is learned, it's hard to reverse, because they anchor value, the buyer, by thinking, well, I need a clear problem-solution framing. I need demonstration before persuasion, not the other way around, because people think that you need persuasion, then demonstration. You don't. You need demonstration and proof, then you move to your middle of funnel content. Focus on bundles instead of blanket discounts. Oh yeah, 60% off today only. People will fall for it, but you may be sacrificing your brand in the long run. Shop exclusive value, not cheap pricing. So the goal isn't to make the first sale as fast as possible. It's to make the first of all a profitable sale, and to set the right expectations for the brand. Because you could be, when you're cold starting a brand, you could be pushing out loads of bottom of funnel videos trying to get the sale, right? But if you're not feeding GMV Max with audience data, then it's not going to know who to push your bottom of funnel videos to. If you're focusing on just to get them to buy bottom of funnel, bottom of funnel, bottom of funnel, then it doesn't have an audience to work with. It can just see a small subset of people who were expensive to find in the first place in your GMV Max testing. And that can, again, that's going to raise your ad costs. It's not going to give the algorithm enough audience knowledge. And when you're first starting out, all you need to do is get impressions and clicks and get people to know your brand. Alex Hormozy says you should be bored of your advertising, and you should be advertising more because not enough people know you. You may think that enough people know you, but they don't. So people don't trust brands explaining their own products. They trust creators explaining their own experiences. And when I started explaining my experiences and relating to the experiences of the viewer, that's when the sale came. And it wasn't necessarily through top of funnel video. It wasn't through the top of funnel videos. I posted loads of top of funnel videos. Then there was brand awareness, and then we were able to make significant sales. You need to show the problem clearly, demonstrate the solution in real use. Obviously, if you were to sell anything, anyone would say that, show a solution, right? You don't have to know anything about content marketing to understand that. But your sales aren't going to come from hype, slogans, urgency for the sake of urgency. Creators should be teaching what they tried before, why it didn't work, what changed after using your product. Before and afters, right? And the fastest growing TikTok shop brands, they aren't cheap. They are clear. Guys, there are brands launching every day doing like 6 figures in 3 days. Why? It's because they're clear on their offer. It is not because, and maybe also because they bring creators from other platforms, right? They start strong. Credit to them. They are clear on their offer. And they have hero product pairings. They have a very simple SKU with a clear offer. They have a very logical why. They have a logical why on this bundle exists. You don't want customers thinking, TikTok must be glitching. This is so cheap. You want them thinking, the offer actually makes sense and I can't get it anywhere else. Not even in Walmart, right? Your offer has to be so good and so specific to the customer that only a TikTok customer would buy it. And brands say retainers don't work on TikTok shop. They would say that they want to drop 15k on a retainer, and what they mean is they use retainers before they had proof of an angle or a top of funnel video. Retainers are not a starting strategy. If you're trying to scale with a retainer, that's fine, but you should only do that when you're scaling. Retainers are not a cold start strategy unless you have money to burn up front. If you're the kind of brand that is okay with being unprofitable when starting, then by all means burn retainers while testing. But if you are testing up front, I don't see a reason why you should drop 20k on retainers. Attract first, attract the right creator. And if you must start with retainers, if you do have a marketing budget, I suppose it's reasonable to have a marketing budget and put some people on a low retainer and then train them from there to generate awareness. I love that strategy, but attracting the best of the best creators initially just to get a brand off the ground isn't always the best strategy, because you are paying expert sellers to generate demand for a product that people aren't even aware of yet. When people have awareness of your product, then you can get those top creators on retainer, because they will just snowball that brand. And retainers, they're not a starting strategy. I would only use a retainer as a scaling tool. You know which creators convert, right? You can see based on Calo data or affiliate dashboards. You understand winning hooks and formats. You're reinvesting profit. It's not gambling. And retainers scale output from known performers. So I just wanted to wrap up this video by sharing something about how your results are aligned with how strong your creators are. If you pay for volume, you'll get volume. If you pay for performance, you'll get performance. High growth brands treat creators as partners, not placements. They reward consistency and results. And when you share insights that help creators sell better, when you make top performers feel genuinely valued, they aren't just a distribution tool, they are part of your sales system. So that's why like I said, I am a fan of bringing on creators on a lower retainer. I know before I said you need to ditch retainers, but I'm okay with a low budget retainer to generate demand and train a creator. I'm much more of a fan of building a community than I am hiring and outsourcing to UGC agencies up front. When you stop obsessing over views and virality and just track what actually matters, like getting clicks on your product, getting awareness of the brand and problem aware, and just saying, like creators saying your brand name in their videos, that is worth so much. TikTok will pick this up and they will know which audience to test in future just by creators saying the name, getting the word out there. So when you have repeat purchase behavior and creator GMV consistency, yeah, go all in on those retainers, double down on what works, as the saying goes. But understand that until then, growth may come in spikes. And as long as those spikes are there, you don't want to be blowing a massive retainer budget unless you're okay with being unprofitable up front with a view to becoming profitable down the line. And focus on awareness at first, because TikTok doesn't have any data about your products. But in order to get that data, understand the buyer. That's where TikTok gets its data from. It's not going to come from you spending hours in GMV Max. It's only going to come from, well, testing first of all, understanding what affiliates want to promote, and understanding what customers want to buy. Then TikTok's data will sort itself out. So I just wanted to share my insight on this, because this drove me mad through some of 2025, trying to guess what GMV Max wants. I didn't even have anything to physically show in this video. This was purely just a lesson I've learned. This isn't something that I could show because we don't have GMV Max results from March as of last year. So this is just purely something that scaled my brand. If you've got any questions, then DM me on Instagram. If you've got any troubles with GMV Max or building awareness for your brand, then just let me know and I'll answer. And I hope this was of value to you. So guys, I hope you keep crushing it out there, because I know it's tough at the moment on TikTok Shop for some brands, especially in Q1 it seems for certain brands. But yeah, you're going to come out on the other side way more profitable than you have in the last few months, I promise you, as long as you apply understanding your customer. So yeah, take care and I'll catch you in the next one.